Okay. So he was in Pearl Harbor. 21, Pearl Harbor.
21 in Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. And then how did that, like, what else happened? What did he do?
He was on it was called the Raleigh,
Yeah.
the USS Raleigh. And all he ever told me was that they sounded general quarters and we all ran. But they were at the bottom of the ocean there. Just imagine.
Mhm.
Like I think about Jake, he's 21. What it would do to your life. And then he was on the escort ships. Um, they escorted the big wigs. And then he was on what was called the USS Baldwin. And he had his good friend Emery Bremer there. That
Mhm.
was nice, those two. But, and then the reason we were in New York, they were getting the Bennington into commission in Brooklyn.
Mhm.
And that's how come he was in New York. And that's why I went there. And then Kath was there too, and she had a real nice place in Flushing. But losing him was something. But when you have a family, you have to keep on doing things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And one thing too, when I came to Fircrest that day and told him, that Willie had passed away, and then when I came back in again, they had $150 there for me. People are so nice. They did that for people. But and then that was my job in personnel to collect money for people that things happen. But I think, Noli, the thing that stays in my mind was the kindness of people.
Mhm.
Really, it makes such a difference when you're with people that are kind and good-hearted.
Mhm. Um.
I remember at Fish and Wildlife, I didn't work for this man there, but because it was quite a big place. And one day we were in the lunchroom, and he looked over at me and he said, "Oh, there's one thing about Ann Gordon. She likes to be out among them." And that has been my salvation, being with people.
Mhm.
Being there, I don't have to be important or anything. I just like
Just.
to be where people are.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. If you're with silence for quite a while, you think, is there something wrong? You know what I mean?
Mhm. Um.
But losing Willie, that young
Yeah.
man,
How long
like
was?
he was like, um, do you know Ty? Um, Peggy's Ty?
Mhm.
He's 43.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many years was he in the war?
Huh?
How many years was he in the war?
How was he? What?
How many years was he in the war?
In the war?
Yeah, or on the Navy?
7.
7 years in the
He
Navy.
went in, he graduated from high school
Mhm.
in May. He went in October 1937.
Mhm.
And then he was in the war till October 1945 is when he mustered out. Exactly 7 years.
Mhm. And then, so after that, when that had ended, was your how was like your relationship
With what?
between you two?
Between him and me,
Uh huh.
we dearly loved each other.
Yeah.
We, he was, at times, he had a hard time.
Mhm.
And I didn't understand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there was a real deep love for one another, and that's what kept us going. You know what I mean?
Uh
When I
huh.
look back and think about it, Just like that time I went with that fellow in the back seat. Oh, I thought Willie is just gonna hate me. But we were married just 19 years.
Yeah.
I think like with Nan and Steve, they're so lucky they still have each other, and Bob and Peg
Mm-hmm.
and Warren and Teddy, they're all lucky to have each other.
Mm-hmm. What else? I don't know what else to ask. Well, I guess if you could go back and change anything, like just one thing, what do you think, like a decision you made that could have would have been like life altering?
Yeah. I really can't think of anything.
It's kind of a hard question.
Well, it isn't, but everything just kind of flowed along.
Yeah.
Some people make a lot of plans for their life.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't make any plans for my life. It just took hold. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a planned life at all.
Yeah.
It was just something, just like meeting Willie and with my sister.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, Annie, he's the cutest guy you'll ever see.
Mm-hmm.
You'll ever meet. And he sure was cute.
Yeah.
I think too what I do, Noli,
Yeah.
with all this war talk in Pakistan and all those places,
Mm-hmm.
boy, that's hard on those men. Oh. And we didn't have any preliminaries to the war or to Navy or anything.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have a clue what it was all about.
Yeah.
Like Pearl Harbor. I was in a theater in Fargo, and we came out in the Fargo Forum. Pearl Harbor is bombed. We never even heard of Pearl Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, you didn't even. Oh, here comes Mr. Kitty, big woolly guy. Yeah. In a way, we were raised real innocent about stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to condense the information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
definitely.
What I think, and all of us, I had an older brother, Lefty, and Hi, my sister, and then Elwood, my twin.
Mm-hmm.
But we were taught to always be faithful, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we all lived like that, you know what I mean, when we grew up with our families and everything. But it all came from Mother and Dad. They'd say, you must always do the best you can. And they were so tolerant of everybody, because we were the minority. It could have been different.
Mm-hmm.
But people were nice to us, and we were nice to them. Like that Howard Sandeline, Mrs. Milone, I came to tell you that I love you. That was the final thank you for Mother. Mm-hmm. She was the first teacher in Wheelock. That's where she met my dad.
Oh, yeah.
But we're going to go back, and I'll take some pictures. Ty was there and took pictures of Wheelock. Sometime I'll have to show it to
really?
you. Yeah.
It's cool.
That big Ty
Yeah.
going to Wheelock.
Uh-huh.
Is this kind of all wrapped up?